You checked your balance this morning. You did not want to. You spent money you said you would not, again. And the worst part is not the number. The worst part is the feeling underneath it. That quiet, gnawing sense that you already knew this would happen. That some part of you watched it happen and you still could not stop it. You have tried budgets. You have tried tracking apps. You have tried the 30-day savings challenges and the no-spend weekends. And still, at the end of the month, the money is gone before the month is. This is not a discipline problem. This is not a math problem. There is a specific mechanism in your brain called hedonic adaptation that is running every single time you spend. It is rewiring your baseline, and it is doing it without your permission. Stay with me. Here is what you probably believe. You overspend because you do not have a good enough system. You need a better budget, a stricter rule, a more detailed spreadsheet. Maybe you just need more willpower, more discipline, a stronger morning routine. It makes sense you believe that. Every piece of personal finance content you have ever consumed told you the same thing. Control your inputs. Control your outputs. Spend less than you earn. The math is simple. Here is the problem with that. A budget is a behavioral instruction, and your brain does not follow instructions. It follows feelings. Willpower is not a renewable resource. It depletes across the day like a battery. Every decision you make drains it. By the time you are standing in a store at 7 in the evening after a long day, willpower is not driving. Something else is. That something else is a process called present bias, and it is not a character flaw. It is a feature of your nervous system. Your brain weights immediate reward exponentially higher than future reward. The pleasure of the purchase right now versus the abstract idea of financial security in 3 years, they are not even a fair fight. But present bias alone does not explain the full picture. There is a second layer underneath it that makes this whole pattern almost impossible to see from inside it. Here is a question worth sitting with. If you woke up tomorrow with twice your current income, do you think you would finally feel financially comfortable? Research from Princeton University, a landmark study involving over 450,000 Americans, found that beyond a certain income threshold, more money does not increase your day-to-day emotional well-being. Your spending simply adjusts upward to match the new level. The ceiling you were chasing moves the moment you reach it. Your brain is not failing to manage money. Your brain is doing exactly what it was designed to do, and the design is working against your goals. What you are about to understand are 3 specific mechanisms that are driving this behavior. Your researchers and behavioral economists call them together the spin cycle. They are comfort drift, the reward collapse, and adaptation lock. And once you can see all 3, you will never unsee them. Mechanism 1, comfort drift. Comfort drift is the slow, invisible expansion of what feels normal to you. It does not happen in big moments. It happens in small ones. The streaming service you added, the coffee you started buying daily, the grocery store upgrade that happened gradually over 18 months. Here is how it plays out in real life. You get a modest raise. You do not make any big financial decisions. You just stop thinking as carefully as you used to about the small stuff. The $20 lunches, the add-ons, the convenience fees. Each individual choice is tiny, but your baseline shifts. This happens because your brain has a mechanism called habituation. It stops noticing what is constant. The same way you stop hearing background noise, you stop registering recurring spending. Your nervous system is conserving energy. It deprioritizes what feels stable to focus on what is new. Your spending grows the moment you stop noticing it. Mechanism 2, reward collapse. Reward collapse is what happens when the emotional payoff of a purchase drops, but your spending behavior does not drop with it. You buy something. It feels good. Then it becomes background. So you buy something slightly bigger, slightly newer, slightly more expensive to get the same feeling. The first time you ordered delivery instead of cooking, it felt like a treat. By the 6th month, it just feels like Tuesday. Your brain's dopamine system works on contrast, not on absolutes. A $10 treat feels incredible the first time. By the 40th time, your brain has recalibrated. It has updated its baseline. The reward signal flattens, and so you escalate, spending more to feel the same thing. More spending, less feeling, that is the collapse. Mechanism 3, adaptation lock. This is the one named in the hook. Hedonic hedonic adaptation, the brain's automatic process of returning to a neutral emotional baseline after any positive or negative event. You bought the thing. You felt good. Then you went back to feeling normal. This is not ingratitude. This is neuroscience. Your brain is built to return to baseline so it can keep detecting change. The upgrade becomes the new normal. The new normal stops producing joy. So you start hunting for the next upgrade. Adaptation lock is what happens when this cycle gets so tight that your spending is permanently chasing a feeling your brain will always reset from. You are not buying things anymore. You are buying temporary escapes from a baseline your brain will always pull you back to. The researchers who study this, including Nobel Prize winning psychologist Daniel Kahneman, found that adaptation happens faster than almost anyone predicts. The joy from a major purchase, a new car, a new apartment, typically fades within 3 to 6 months, but your budget does not reset with your feelings. You adapt to the upgrade. The debt stays. Now that you understand the 3 mechanisms, here is what to actually do about them. This is the friction reset. 3 steps designed specifically to interrupt the spend cycle at its source. Step 1, baseline audit. A baseline audit is a deliberate review of every recurring charge in your life. Subscriptions, habits, upgrades that you set up and then stopped consciously choosing. To do it today, pull your last 3 months of bank and card statements and highlight every charge that you did not consciously decide on this month. This works because it reverses habituation. It forces your brain to re-notice what it stopped registering. Step 2, delay architecture. Delay architecture is a structured pause you build between impulse and purchase that outlasts the dopamine spike. To implement it today, set a single rule. Any unplanned purchase over a threshold you choose goes on a 48-hour waiting list. No exceptions. This works because present bias weakens dramatically when you separate desire from decision by even a short window of time. Step 3, joy tracking. Joy tracking is a simple log of which past purchases actually increased your lasting satisfaction and which ones vanished into the adaptation cycle within weeks. To start today, take 5 minutes and write down the last 5 significant things you bought. Rate honestly whether they still add to your life. This works because it builds a feedback loop that your brain does not naturally generate. It forces you to measure the return on your emotional investment. Here is the reframe. The false belief at the start was that you need a better budget. What you actually need is a better relationship with your own baseline. The friction reset does not restrict you, it makes you conscious, and consciousness is where the cycle breaks. You were not broken. You were running a program your brain inherited, one built for a world of scarcity, not a world of one-click checkout and infinite scroll. That version of you who kept saying I'll be better next month was not weak. That version was operating without the map. You have the map now, and here is what becomes possible when this pattern breaks. Not just a higher savings rate, though that happens. You stop spending as a way to feel something. You stop upgrading as a way to feel enough. You start making choices that actually match your real priorities instead of choices that serve a dopamine loop you never agreed to join. The concrete version of that looks like this. It looks like 3 months from now, opening your bank app and feeling something different. Not dread, not shame, but something closer to recognition. Like you finally understand the language your money has been speaking. Your brain is not your enemy. It is just running old code. You are the one who gets to update it. If you want to keep understanding the psychology behind your money, not just the math, subscribe to CashCraft Daily. The next video is about something that makes the spend cycle even harder to break for certain people. A cognitive distortion called money avoidance schema, and why the very act of trying not to think about your finances is keeping you in debt. You will want to see that one before the month ends.